The ocean is the heart of our planet. Ocean currents connect all living creatures across the earth. And the oceans are our lungs. Scientists say that there's more than 70% oxygen from ocean plants in every breath that we take.
Also provide protection to the tourist-reliant coastlines. They act as natural barriers, canceling out 97% of a wave's strength and protecting more than 200 million people. Building seawalls for the same protection costs $2.5 million per mile. But today, humans are putting these all at risk. Rising ocean temperatures and pollution stress the coral, which can kill entire coral ecosystems within just a few months. Half of the U.S. Caribbean coral died in one massive bleaching event back in 2005. If we do nothing to cool the oceans, the planet's remaining coral could all be wiped out.
Coral reefs need our help. When the water quality drops or ocean temperatures rise, corals expel their symbiotic algae, bleach into white and die. The coral ecosystems collapse. Most reefs worldwide are threatened or already severely damaged. Coral reefs are some of the most diverse and valuable ecosystems on Earth. They are essential for healthy oceans. As soon as the power cables are connected, the current is running through our biorock. The electrolytic process between the metal and minerals in the water begins. Calcium carbonate starts to aggregate. Hard corals also use these minerals to build their limestone skeletons. We can simply attach the pieces to the biorock structure, and they will immediately benefit from the electric field. Within the electric field, corals find improved conditions, and they can use much more energy for growth, reproduction, and resisting environmental threats. After a few minutes, the first fish come to check out the new underwater formation.
Literally. Baby oysters called spat attach to older and even dead oysters in order to grow.
And over generations, all of these oysters reproducing and builds up the oyster reef.
In some places, that sturdy reef can help defend the coast by dampening the force of incoming waves.
If you have an oyster reef that's intertidal, that sticks up, at low tide, then it can perform some of that wave energy protection function.
Oyster reefs can break up waves by catching the brunt of the force. Part of the wave is deflected back to the ocean and the rest can more gently reach the shoreline, which slows long-term erosion. On its own, an oyster reef won't stop a hurricane-level storm surge, but it could definitely limit the damage. And the larger they grow, the more protection they can offer. As time goes on, sea levels will rise. Unlike man-made breakwaters that will need to be rebuilt over time, oyster reefs just keep growing upward. One organization puts recycled shells in cages for oyster spat to grow on. And groups in Bangladesh and around the US have placed large concrete barriers offshore for oyster spat to grow on. Now, on their own, concrete structures like this are actually effective breakwaters. So why add oysters? To understand that, it helps to look at a more familiar type of reef.
Oyster reefs provide much the same function as coral reefs. They provide the same kind of habitat. They are the underpinning of the ecological systems where they exist, just like coral reefs.
Oysters are filtration systems. They eat by pulling in large quantities of water. Algae, nitrogen, and other contaminants are eaten or harmlessly dumped to the bottom of the bay, and clean water is expelled. A single oyster can filter up to 50 gallons of water every day. As the water clarity improves, seagrasses start to grow. Fish return, and other sea creatures make the crevices in the reef their home to a more sustainable future.
It feels hopeful, and it feels like something that we can achieve.